Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous dance baby, and welcome to another episode of More Than Dance. Today, we are talking about one of the last no words for now, because I have a list of about 15. So, we're going to talk about the last one in this chunk. So far, we've talked about the word can't, the word try to, the word should, and now the word have to. And the word have to and should and also need to, they're very similar. They're kind of in the same category. And I actually thought, well, could I put them all together? And I decided not to because should to me is like shame and obligation and not taking yourself with your own power and your own inspiration and your own willingness that you even want to do that thing. And have to and need to are more like, are you seeing opportunities for gratitude in your life when you get to do the things that you're mentioning that you have to do? So we're going to deep dive into the phrase have to. And then in the back of your head, you can think about the word need to. And now I'm thinking like I should be saying the word phrase because I guess it's a phrase, but really it's a word too. So have to, need to becomes get to. Let's get into it. So when we're talking about should, that was the previous episode, we're talking about the approval, the conditioning, the shame, the guilt. In this episode, we're talking more about the energy, the gratitude, and the nervous system safety. It's funny, isn't it, how language can trap us or it expands us. So just kind of like a blanket question here. What happens to us when the phrase have to becomes our default? And I wonder if now that I've already phrased out the word get to, when you think about replacing the phrase have to with get to, what are you unlocking as a possibility? And I also like to say that we can be very conscious of using these word replacements, and sometimes the other words will sneak in. So when I share this with you, I want you to know that I'm also behind the scenes consciously utilizing the replacement phrases for these words so that I can slowly teach and reframe my mind so that I'm attracting positivity and becoming empowered by what I say versus feeling unempowered by what I say. I'll say this, once I started becoming more aware of this phrase, the more and more I hear the phrase have to, the more and more it makes me cringe. And the reason is because I'm a believer in gratitude. And when we are practicing gratitude, life is better. And if we have more things around us that we're getting to do, then we're going to inherently feel happier. And when we have things around us that we have to do, we're going to feel bogged down by all of the laundry list of things that we have to do. Have to has that energy of pressure. It has energy of urgency and guilt. Your body hears it like a demand, like a command. I have to do this. Okay. And even when you love the thing that you have to do, your body is hearing it in the demand way. So like, I have to teach tonight. This is a perfect example. I have to teach tonight. I never say that. I get to teach tonight. And then that frames my brain into thinking, wow, you did it. You figured out a way to fill your life with things that you love to do. I get to teach dance tonight? You mean I get to do my dream, teaching dance every day? Or Josh and I have to go visit my family this weekend. I never say that. And it's because I get to see my family this weekend. I love seeing them, so I get to see them. It's an honor. Or I have plans. I have plans. Oh, I'm not able to attend. I get to go out with my friend. Something that you get to do is going to feel different than something that you have to do. And your brain's going to know. When we say that we have to do something, we are teaching ourselves that it can be a burden. And even though we know that we love that thing, it could teach us, especially if we're having like a down day, it could teach us that it's a burden and those words have more meaning than they do that day. So when you're thinking about should, because we talked about that last time, should is like this moral pressure, and have to is like an energetic pressure. When you say the word get to, you get to feel freedom. You get to feel access. You get to feel like you that bitch doing that stuff that you want to do. It makes room for gratitude without minimizing your effort. Because we know when I'm teaching at night, like there's a lot of effort in that. There's picking songs and there's picking themes and being organized and knowing what I'm teaching. That's effort. There's effort behind that. And I still am so grateful for it. When I say get to, I'm remembering that I built this for myself. I wanted this. This is my choice. This is what I wanted, and now I get to enjoy it. So me doing my obligations, teaching, emailing, checking in with clients, I get to do that. That's part of the life that I wanted. And me getting to do it is me enjoying the life I created. So sometimes I'll hear my students like, oh, I have to go to dance, or I have to get to class. I have to modify, or I have to dance like a different way. I'm like, you get to go to class. And I say that kind of like whatever kind of energy you thought that was. It was intentional. And it's because I think about the times where I have been so injured and confined to a chair, and I was just thinking about what it would feel like to use my leg the way I had previously used my leg and my body. And I also got into the mindset of, wow, I'm still dancing. It looks different and I'm still dancing. And it really does show a lack of gratitude when they say stuff like, well, I have to do it this way. You get to do it a way. You get to still do it. And I think about people who have like deeply injured themselves. Like there's a dancer that I know, and she's confined to a wheelchair and she dances. And sometimes I do think that perspective like that can get like a little annoying and a little like too martyr-like, because our experience is our experience and it's all relative. And it's hard to compare like what your daily is with someone else's daily if your daily wasn't that. So it's nice to be aware that dancers like that exist. And it's also like, let's not beat ourselves up for the gifts that we do have just because they don't currently have those gifts. So when I say stuff like that, I'm saying it more so as let's use our bodies and let's be grateful for what they can do right now. And that is also why I think that I was given this kind of like knee saga situation. And it's because I do feel like part of my life's purpose is to share about modifications and how I'm still able to dance despite the things that I've gone through. And I think sometimes if we don't see it or we don't feel it, or maybe it's not visual, like I think sometimes people have no idea that maybe I've gone through this. And when they do find out, it's kind of like, what? Like it's surprising. And it is surprising. It's surprising that, this happened. And it's also a great lesson for people to know that things are possible. When you think about world record holders and Olympic medalists, there was a score that was holding the title before they held the title. And it was them knowing that if a person did that, perhaps, just maybe, I could also do that and then some. When we're shown what's possible, we are able to step up to the plate. We're able to do it. When someone's able to see all that their body can do, when you're leading by example with your modifications, people will catch on and they'll be like, oh, well, if she's doing it, maybe I could do it. And that's also, not to get too off track, but that's also one of the reasons why I love when older people come to my studio, because one of the most famous excuses for not dancing is I'm too old for that. And even when they really, really want to do it, right? It's like, it's kind of sad because they're letting that excuse like get to them. And then when they're able to see the people that do come to my studio that are maybe in the same age range as them, they're like, oh, if she could do it, maybe I could do it. It becomes possible. So when we say that we have to do something, we really get to do it. Getting to do something also doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that you're not thinking and being very conscious about everything that you're doing, especially on the dance floor. Saying the phrase get to is a mindset anchor, especially when you're tired or overwhelmed. So for me, when I get to film these podcasts, instead of I have to film a podcast today, it's I get to connect with you through the camera. It's I get to spend some kind of weird quality time with Joshi in a way because it's like we're kind of together. He's behind the camera right now. We're kind of together and it's special in a way. It's not the same kind of quality time that we'll be doing this weekend for the B-Day week, but it's still special time. That also doesn't mean that sometimes I think about these podcast moments where I'm like, okay, another episode. All right. There is stuff that comes through to me like, what are you going to talk about today, Chris? Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to wear? When are you going to do it? So there's still a lot of effort behind it. And it's still something that I get to do. When I think about the time that I spend like organizing and cleaning my home, it's not, I have to clean, I have to do this. It's, I get to care for this space that I live in, this space that I've built. Or even on the days where it's a little bit harder than other days. Using the phrase get to helps me remember that this is what I've asked for. This is what I've manifested. This is what I've worked for. I still love this. My body still works. And you can do the same. So just like we did with the word should, I want to give you a little homework assignment. Raise your hand if you're like me and you just like love to have like a task to do. So the first is, again, that inventory. So you're taking into account the times that you say have to. And if you haven't done it for should, you can go ahead and do that. And if you haven't done it for can't or try, you can do that. But take your time with it because there really is no rush because we are always evolving. And if you don't get it now, there is a next time. We're not meant to just shift overnight. That would be a lot of pressure. So take your time as you're thinking about your phrases, the stuff that you say externally and internally. And I want you to see, one, when are you saying those words? Is it around a group of people? Is it when you're feeling stressed? And then you could also take inventory of which of those 4 phrases you say the most. Do you find yourself saying the C word a lot? Is it that one above all others? Or is it really the have to? And then I want you to just take a minute to think about the replacement. Think about what get to means for you. I've already told you what it means for me, but now think about what get to means for you. Think about the life that you're building. Think about your gratitude. Think about the things that you're really working on bringing into your life. And then the next step would be to actually practice replacing the phrase have to with get to. And it might be hard at first, but you're going to notice it. And it's going to be like, oh my gosh, wow, oh, again. And you'll wean out of it. And you're going to soon notice that your vocabulary matters. And when we learn to substitute these little words, it makes a big difference. So I know you're probably wondering, like, what are the other words on her list of like 20 words? There's more. We'll get to them. And they're important, just like these are important. And I think what I'll do is take like a little break from talking about no words and then bring it back later on. If you're absolutely curious and you have to know, you can, of course, DM me and I'll tell you. So I want to leave you on this note. And the note is, we don't have to do anything. And when your higher self wants to do that thing, she's asking for expansion. And sometimes the fastest way to access her is to change the words that you're using on a daily basis. When we are changing, we're expanding because we're bringing in things and we need to make room for those things. And it only makes sense like this. I think about it in terms of cleaning out my closet, which I tend to do a lot, apparently. If I want to level up my wardrobe and continue to have the same closet, I've got to get rid of some things. Otherwise, there won't be room. So as I'm bringing in new things that are more aligned with my current self-expression, I am ridding myself of things that don't serve me anymore. So very similarly, these phrases, they may have served you fine. They got the point across. I have to do this. Oh, I'll try. I'll try and see if I can do that. Oh, I can't. I couldn't possibly. Or, yeah, I should probably work harder. They served you. And now that you're evolving and now that you're expanding and that you're becoming this bomb ass bitch, you get to rid yourself of what used to work for you and bring yourself to the new level that you're becoming. And that's going to be different vocabulary and, yeah, maybe some different outfits. And really what it is a different way of thinking about the things that you get to do. So I hope that you found this helpful, and I am so excited to share more with you. If you're enjoying this podcast, it would mean the world to me if you would like and subscribe and give it a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the dance floor.